So they pulled a sucker move. I'm about to try to record this video again. Bear with me.
So y'all know how the Bible speak on being in the last days. You have to understand that the Bible, it was not for us. It's not meant for us. The last days are the ending of the 6,000 years that they had to run this realm. They are in the last days. The sun is cooking their ass. The sun acts as the body. We are a smaller version of the bigger version, as above, below. So the body heats up with fever to rid it of infection. That's what it naturally does. So the sun is heating up and killing off certain people because they are infectious and non-natural to this body, aka environment, universe. So the last days is the end of their rule, not the end of our life. We're going back into the fifth dimension from the third. We are a smaller version of the bigger version, as above, below. So the body heats up with fever to rid it of infection. That's what it naturally does. So the sun is heating up and killing off certain people because they are infectious and non-natural to this body, aka environment, universe. So the last days is the end of their rule, not the end of our life. We're going back into the fifth dimension from the third. So y'all know how the Bible speak on being in the last days.
If he created evil and he created the devil and he created all of this shit, why the fuck is we in trouble for falling victim for shit that we not even supposed to have no understanding of? Because he God, he's supposed to be all knowing, and you can't question this nigga. So if I can't question this nigga, apparently I can't know what it is he's thinking. And so if I'm walking up the motherfucking street.
So think about that. The devil wants you to be in trouble for what he did, and he called himself, you know what? This is what he did. So since he did that, and if you fall for it, it's on you. But you have to realize that you got to start giving your power away. The only reason you keep coming back here, you keep giving your power away. The minute you start giving your power away, you start understanding that you are nine-ether light being, and that we are all the G word they use is sup. We're not going to use that word because it's pagan. You are a forever living, creative being who was supposed to keep on going to more levels. When I say levels, I'm talking about ascending. You're supposed to ascend and keep ascending your highest estate, and that's what they trying to stop you. Also, ain't nothing wrong with you go visit home sometime. All right, yeah, we got many mansions, what they like to call homes. This place you can call it a home. It's one of our mansions, but we got home. The real home is in the ether with Big Mama. Big Mama is actually the ether. We are a portion of her. Now, don't forget that I don't want to say her because it doesn't have any body parts, but I have to say Big Mama though, because that's what we call it. However, it has a masculine energy in it too, so it's a balance of masculine and female energy, and that's the thing y'all calling Big Mama. And I'm not really sure we should be calling Big Mama due to the fact that it's mixed, as far as masculine and female energy. Okay, yes, the women are limitations of that, but the men are too. We haven't already supposed to treat our queens right and so forth. They supposed to do the same for us, but as you see, um, they have done a good job turning each of us against one another, and not only that, against our women, the women against our men. Now, hold on. Let's get to this.
A God being in trouble for putting it there for me to combat in the first place. And so we're talking about double standards here, okay? So if Reagan can be held.
So in other words, that book you reading, the devil's the one y'all calling G.O.D. in there, and that's who got that book mixed up the way it is on purpose, and he used the things and people that he created and that they created, because it was more than one, help creating these things. And yeah, they want to, you get the whole story. They came here after one of them came here, and they should have stayed away, and they didn't because they obviously wanted a piece of the pie, and they had many nations. In fact, their whole council, if you look at the council of how many demons that y'all call aliens, that are these outside, these are they're demons, they're outsiders, they're fallen ones. And what they did, they came by the droves and made all these different people, all right, that has the Anunnaki evil spirit, okay? Now, I'm not saying all Anunnaki's bad. What I'm saying, it doesn't matter. Because the minute they entered this district, they were doomed. They were not post that as a violation. And the other violation is interfering with the people and the animals and anything, plants, flowers, anything that's on this district. Matter of fact, setting foot on the planet was also another violation. So that's 3 violations. And then they sat there and started gene splicing, and they start what? Saying this was theirs, they created this, they did that. No, y'all created other things, not us. And then they told their things they created to use that book against us, so they would look great, and also so we would follow their savior, who can no longer save them. He saved them with the lies. That's how he did it. He's the author of lies. Everybody that is his buddies that's fighting over this planet to think that they're going to rule over us, which they're not, are all full of lies. They're all devils, and this is something I need all y'all to understand. So please pay attention and understand what he's saying.
Victim to it, his motherfucking self. How is religion supposed to lead you to your higher self when the gods are still in their motherfucking lower self? God is supposed to be the intellectual, spiritual elder of the planet who created.
You catch that? You're in your lower self because you believe the bullshit instead of believing
by
the
the
truth.
people for negligence. If he created evil and he created the devil and he created all of this shit, why the f is we in trouble for falling victim for shit that we not even supposed to have no understanding of? Because he God, he's supposed to be all knowing, and you can't question this nigga. So if I can't question this nigga, apparently I can't know what it is he's thinking. And so if I'm walking up the motherfucking street and there's evil outside and evil influences me, how am I in trouble for not knowing how to combat that evil internally instead of God being in trouble for putting it there for me to combat in the first place? And so we're talking about double standards here, okay? So if Reagan can be held accountable inside of our consciousness for bringing in them drugs, why can't God be held accountable for not only bringing in evil, falling victim to it, his motherfucking self? How is religion supposed to lead you to your higher self when the gods are still in their motherfucking lower self? God
One more
is supposed to be
time.
the intellectual, spiritual elder of the planet who created the planet. So why is God not in trouble or being charged by the people for negligence? If he created evil and he created the devil and he created all of this shit, why the fuck is we in trouble for falling victim for shit that we not even supposed to have no understanding of? Because he God, he's supposed to be all knowing, and you can't question this nigga. So if I can't question this nigga, apparently I can't know what it is he's thinking. And so if I'm walking up the motherfucking street and there's evil outside and evil influences me, how am I in trouble for not knowing how to combat that evil internally instead of God being in trouble for putting it there for me to combat in the first place? And so we're talking about double standards here, okay? So if Reagan can be held accountable inside of our consciousness for bringing in them drugs, why can't God be held accountable for not only bringing in...
Ask the water, do you know?
The ancestors lived here. That means millions of years of information is inside of you. So we talk about like people trying to access the Akashic records. The Akashic records isn't someplace like Washington, D.C., you know, or something like that. The Akashic records
It's
is here.
inside you.
And when you develop enough personal power and your consciousness raised to a level, then you have access to all of that information that's literally thousands and hundreds of thousands of years old. So we have access to that. That's why meditation is so important. Why don't they teach meditation in school? Because they don't want you getting in touch with no ancestors. They don't want you getting in touch with information that they don't know. Woo!
I always say the best reader you will have is yourself, okay? You can go there and pay all the $1 billion if you like to for someone else to read you, but if you're not going inside and reading that self, and nothing happens. You are the ancestors. The ancestors are you. The ancestors are you. So all the answers that you're looking for are actually inside of you. Stop using everything else to escape yourself. You can't escape yourself now. Your house, your temple is what you live in 24/7. You might as well do the inner work and find that self. All right, let's go, y'all. Share this page. Y'all know they be.
The ancestors lived through us. Yeah. They're in our information.
I've told many times, but I'll tell it again for those who haven't heard it. When I went on this field trip with this camp that I was part of, we went to this pool, and all the kids were in the pool swimming, but I didn't know how to swim, so I was just chilling outside with one of the camp leaders. I went to that summer camp for like 5 years, 4 or 5 years in a row, and so I was very familiar with all the camp leaders. To this day, still remember their faces and their names. But this dude in particular, he was only there for like a few weeks, and he was strange. He always wore sunglasses, and he had like blonde hair, super blonde hair, and like pale skin. So looking back on it, I feel like he was. Have you heard of the tall whites, the Nordics? You've heard of them? Yeah, I think he was one of those. He sat me down because I didn't know how to swim, so he's hanging out with me. And for whatever reason, he starts talking to me about the Bible and the book of Revelation, and tells me, he sits me down at 8 years old, and he says, Eddie, one day there's going to come a time in your life where the governments of the world are going to create the mark of the beast, and they're going to try to push it on everybody. And he said, first they're going to try and do it politely, advertise it, and then slowly they're going to create something that makes it so that you have to get it. And then eventually they're going to just force you to get it. They're going to knock on your door and force you to get it. And I remember this part. He looks at me and he says, Eddie, it is better for you to die and not take the mark of the beast than to take it. It's a strange story that
Now, hopefully they don't do no sucker stuff. Hopefully they don't do no sucker stuff. All right. Matter of fact, they won't be able to. So, now that I said it, it's spoken, so it's done. They won't be able to. Man. So, yeah, they try that, and you know, you can't trust them. People having dreams about stuff like this, actually, in the past videos when we was more focused on the 3 days of darkness and all the other stuff and really giving you the truth about what's really coming. Besides the stuff we teach you now, that's the good part. Is that well, let's just be honest, y'all. There's a lot of teachers out teaching that we ain't gonna have to fight nobody. And the thing is, you know, the devil, those enemies play for keeps, so they are gonna lose. But just know that we're gonna beat them in all types of ways. It's not just physical. Physical eventually be coming, I guess, as you want to say. But these things has been here. And if they try this, that will create a civil war. And that's exactly what they counting on. They already know it's gonna happen. But they're gonna try to, things are gonna come up from out under the ground. And I'm just being real with you. So there's gonna be, we will do it as far as fight or as far as win. We are winning and we have won. Everything has to play out. Just know we not really here, y'all, because we here everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Just know that. But no, this ain't gonna be no fairy tale. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. What's this thing doing now? Let's just back up. There we go. Bear with me. Bear with me.
Have the information. We are under the Canaanites. The Canaanites are cannibalists. That's why they genetically modified buffalo to freaking cows. That's why cows have human instincts. That's why cows are so tamed. They share 80% of our DNA. You're eating another human. You are a cannibal. It don't matter what our digestive systems are. We are meant to eat a conscious fruit that falls off the tree and rots. It's not rocket surgery. You really think that you're here and there's a circle of life, you doofus, that you have to kill something and consume it? Well, the Eskimos did this, the people did this, the cavemen did not exist. There's electric vehicles back in the early 1900s, 1901, 1902. You have no idea how many times they've reset this. They have created a complete fallacy of what our reality is and how things are, and they are laughing their asses off. Whenever you're celebrating a holiday, you're celebrating a sin. Thanksgiving is gluttony. Christmas is greed. You can flip it and be like, well, Christmas to me is about giving. Every day of your life should be about giving. You're not supposed to consume meat. It don't matter.
Facts, but it's more, you're not supposed to consume meat, that's facts, but it's more than just gluttony and stuff when you celebrate that.
But I just like this. Look at this video, y'all. Look at this shit. This is the clearest video that anybody has ever got of anything. Look what that drone look like. Look, do y'all see the eye in the middle, bro? Do y'all see it? It's looking over and watching everything. Watching everybody.
My thoughts exactly. I already tried to explain this to y'all. Angels ain't as pretty as you think. They look diabolical. They look scary. Dangerously scary. They not all angelic like they got them looking in the movies.
That's right, because y'all, here's the facts, y'all. Matter of fact, hold on 1 second. Let me jump out of this. Just so don't try to. Let me jump out of that too. Let me jump out of all that. Jump out of everything. I'm jumping out. Jumping out. All right. Cool. That's more like it. Here's the facts, y'all. The fact is they fallen. This is why you're starting to see all these things. A lot of portals have been open. And all these so-called A words that they should just use, it means fallen ones. They're demons. So now there's a demon of the Anunnaki. I buke all of them and all the other names of all these demons. There's so many of them. That sat up there, and now they got this telescope sort of space-like thing, and they watching. But they also not only have that. That's what you call the Black Knight. Look that up. But now they watching. They got one of the guys watching, and you know that they ship shaped. So think about that. And so they try to see what's going on because they ready to try to do their messed up play. They only use, here's a fact, outside nations, they simply use y'all to get us down, and then they wanted y'all to do all the evil that they like. So y'all will eventually be able to use evil power to open up portals, okay, for them to come through so that they can master the evil plan. Once that was done, then all they're gonna do, because they only made y'all survive for a short time anyway, is they gonna do what they do. And the book tell you what they do. These giants, and the reason the giants, that people don't realize, the reason Nephilim went up with giants, because back in the days, remember, everything was also bigger. They were just ridiculous big, but they were giants called the Anunnaki. And that's what folks don't understand. People really think that these things were the same size as us, and that's not how it is. Now, maybe some of the children that came through them, right, and was be birthed on this earth, because well, we know what the hell that goes, okay, right? And I ain't talking about just the outside nations. I'm talking about the ones, well, they still outside nations that look like us but ain't us. And I ain't talking about the Moors. I'm talking about, and we know the Moors ain't us. I'm talking about the ones that claim to be all these other things. They don't realize that they not us. Like you could say they got ether in them too. They got ether, and they try to tell you our number, man, our number is 666, but that's wrong. That's 999. They got 6 strands of different types of DNA. Am I got that right? No. They got 7. No, the 6, 6. That's right, because the monkey got 5. The monkey got 5, and they got 6 strands. That's right. And we got 9 different strands of different categories of DNA. And there's a whole nother box on top of that on the side of what's not really DNA, it's DEA. They got DNA. We got DEA. So it's a big difference. So therefore, our DEA even says that we are. And I'm just being real with you because it's the truth. All you got to do, remember, we were scientists. We didn't do mad scientist stuff. We was just smart, and we knew how to do things, and we ate better. We didn't eat the foods we eat today. We didn't eat processed anything. So that's what you're dealing with right now. And they want you to believe that you this, you that. So maybe some of you are. And that's, hey, I already explained this before, right? But for us who are non-ether light beings, who come straight from Mother Ether, who come straight from the ether that has a balance of female male energy, right? That is only trying to help the good to ascend or go to the next level, to ascend to this level at least, if not ascend all the way. And they went against everything the ether, it went against all the ether's laws, violated by. So what? It was their business. If their shit was fucked up and their planet was messed up, if they wanted to come dig gold, they should have went to a district where there was nobody at, nobody living on, and dug some gold. They broke through here. It don't matter which one came first. It don't matter who's calling themselves good, because they all bad. And after they all came, all their buddies don't followed them here too. Keep it 100. They sat up there. They started gene splicing. They took some of our women's stuff, obviously, to gene splice and made a hybrid woman and was sleeping with hybrid women, making all these Nephilim giants, right? This is what they did, right? And the so-called good one, he had an Anunnaki queen, which is what he's supposed to do, but then he turned around and made a half-breed hybrid woman, there we go, and then made one of our women. He had 3 wives. He wasn't supposed to be touching our women, period. Not even a piece of them. None of them were, but that's what they did, right? Then they made these people that are not you. Fact is, Anunnaki DNA, or they might have DEA, is not the same as ours. Ours is better. Facts, they even admitted that shit. Just being real with y'all, man. Man. And then these people enslaved you, took everything you, man, and still got your shit. Yeah, they losing it, but they still got it. And what they trying to do? Oh, if I can't have it, nobody can. So y'all want to have an all-out war. Y'all want to go crazy and kill each other. That's what they gonna do. And spread, if y'all don't really realize, yo, and this just came from the ether, war, the type of wars that they have is a freaking, what they call it, I don't want to say a ceremony, but it's like a war helps conjure up demons. War invites demons. The blood spilled from war. So all y'all doing is another ritual by having that's what they doing. They know it. When they have this war and everybody start, it's gonna get crazy. They probably gonna kill Trump. They're gonna try to say you gotta do something you ain't trying to do and that you are not gonna do, you're totally against, and you'd rather die than do it. That will cause a civil war. It's gonna be some bullshit. And the devil won't have his buddies come up, and not only up, but and there's some in low orbit come down. They gotta make it look good. right? And they really coming through a portal, or some of them are, some is already there. So, and see, it's going to be a battle. Yeah, the sun's doing this thing. We're beating them by literally thinking them out of this reality because we know who we are. But at the same time, let's not be tricked. These evil things and evil beings and stuff, people just don't lay down. Peace and love.